Welcome back to Front of House, the greatest stereo music podcast that ever existed, my friends. My name is Mike Dawson. Today we welcome into the studio Mr. Bobbo Byrnes. You might remember Bobbo when he was our guest on Front of House a few years back with his band, The Fallen Stars. Bobbo comes in and plays some solo songs for us, and he's got a really, really cool guitar pickup arrangement. The dude has two pickups in his guitar. One that feeds from the sound hole, and then one that feeds from the pickup jack. He runs each of those into separate outboard gear, thus creating a pretty awesome sound, and it was a really fun show to mix. You're going to love this. Bobbo Byrnes coming up here front of house. I want to remind you and ask you and plead with you to go to patreon.com/front of house. If you donate just $3 a month, you will get a brand new mastered MP3 from our artists every single Monday in your inbox. So please go to patreon.com/front of house and share the show with your friends, please. It's a great way to discover new music, as many of the front of house loyal will tell you that they found some of their favorite music right here on this stereo music podcast. So please share it with a friend. This season of Front of House is dedicated to our dear, dear friend, Jenny Pagliaro. Jenny left this world way too soon, but she left behind a record with her band, Roses and Cigarettes, the record called Echoes and Silence. This is Jenny's swan song. And for those of you who were friends with Jenny, all you need to do is put this record on and have a little cry. Love you, Jenny. Miss you. On to track 7 from Echoes and Silence. Remember, we're playing a new track from the record every single week here on Front of House. Track 7 is a stone cold hit. Crank it up and listen to it. Roses and Cigarettes. Feel the fire.
I didn't know just what to say. There was something in your eyes tonight when you looked my way. Well, I know that fear is strong, but you keep hanging on to my every word. That's why I wrote this song. Well, boy, I feel the fire and for so long now, lighting match after match and just watching them burn out. You can't add fuel to a fire if you want it gone. You're still hanging on to my every word. That's why I wrote this song. Boy, I feel the fire and I can't wait any longer.
Feel the Fire, that's Roses and Cigarettes from the album Echoes in Silence. You can pick that up at rosesandcigarettes.com. And now, without any further ado, let's get into the interview and performance with the great Bobbo Byrnes, live in Los Angeles. And we're live from the North Hollywood Hideout in Los Angeles, California, with the one and only Bobbo Byrnes.
I got a letter from Maria. You know her English ain't that good. What she meant was easily understood. 'Cause if I'm gonna keep her, better get there quick. The thought of her with somebody else just makes me sick. I never drove 2 days through the pouring rain, just stopping for coffee and gas. I've never outrun the lonely interstate, didn't know this thing could go that fast. I've never been in this deep before, there's always a first time. Then again, I ain't ever been the jealous kind. Blue lights in the mirror, blue lights in my way. Still all I can see is her pretty face. When they give me that one phone call, well, I know what it's gonna be. Marie, would you wait one more day for me? I never drove 2 days through the pouring rain, just stopping for coffee and gas. I've never outrun the lonely interstate, didn't know this thing could go that fast. I've never been in this deep before, there's always a first time. Then again, I ain't never been the jealous kind. I never drove 2 days through the pouring rain, just stopping for coffee and gas. I've never outrun the lonely interstate, I didn't know this thing could go that fast. Never been in this deep before, there's always a first time. Then again, I ain't ever been jealous kind. Then again, I ain't ever been the jealous kind.
Bobbo Byrnes is front of house. Great to have you back, my brother. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, Dawson.
I got to say, man, the first time we ever met, it's been about 20 years. We got quite a history going back.
Yeah.
Way back to the old Toro Canyon, Montecito days.
It was an outdoor gig at Guitar Center with Sonny.
Was that what it was?
That was when I met you.
Wow.
What's the name of that radio station?
K-Tide.
K-Tide.
Was I doing a remote?
You were doing a remote.
Okay. And Sonny Moan came by to play?
Yep.
And you played with Sonny at the Guitar Center. Was it the Guitar Center in Oxnard?
That's the one.
Wow. You know, that day I bought my first amplifier. And I'm really ashamed of the one I bought because I got talked into it by a dude from Guitar Center.
That's your first mistake.
It was the dawn of the Line 6.
Oh!
Remember the Line 6, bro?
I totally do. Their pedals are great. I have one right there.
Sure. But so many people, more people, far more. 9 out of 10 people who've made a comment on that amp did not make a good comment on that amp. They talked to me like I got suckered into some roadside medicine.
Yeah, I actually saw there was a story just this past week, a guy who plays the Line 6 modeling amp to be tried as an adult.
Nice. That's good. And with that, Bobbo Byrnes, our guest today, who for the first couple of years of your existence, to me, when I was aware that this really cool guy Bobbo was around, I thought we all called you Bobbo Rockstar.
That's my original business card.
So that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew there had to have been a reason, but I think all of us were, at least half of us were 75% convinced that was your real name, that you changed your name to Bobbo Rockstar.
That is not true. I think I read some book about how, dress for the job you want or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we were doing a lot of things that incapacitated us back in the day. I wonder if on this business card, Bobbo and Rockstar were the same size. I think it said Bobbo Rockstar. True. Yeah, I think it said Bobbo Rockstar.
It's quite possibly, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't say Bobbo Rockstar.
That was a mistake at Staples when they made the business cards, yes.
Well, then you
it was supposed to be a different size font, yeah.
Free business cards. Somewhere around here, I probably still have it. I used Comic Sans
at the point, too.
You did?
It was Comic Sans.
Yes, it was.
It was 2001, 2002. We didn't know.
Beautiful. Well, one thing we do know is that you're a hell of a performer. And
thank you.
We did believe, me and all of our friends, we were like, no, dude, his name is Bobbo Rockstar. Have you seen the guy play? And let me tell you, maybe just start off with a compliment and they'll hear another song. But nobody, and I mean nobody I've seen in rock and roll, leaves it all on the stage like Bobbo Byrnes.
I appreciate that.
I love watching you perform, man.
If you're not sweating, you're not doing it right.
That's right. Let's hear another song. Bobbo Byrnes is Front of House.
This is an attempt at a love song for my wife. It's called Mrs. What's His Name. Well, all I've got to my name is a few guitars and a little fame. It's the price of living with a has-been and a what-if. 'Cause if I could change, I would, but you know that I ain't no good. A songwriter with a broken heart, just a man that falls apart. The simple sight of seeing you is all it takes to come unglued. Do my best to cause no shame being called Mrs. What's His Name. I say I love you every day, 'cause it really ain't that hard to say. And there'll be days, it's true, when it would be easier if I was like you. 'Cause if I could change, I would, but you know that I ain't no good. A songwriter with a broken heart, just a man that falls apart. The simple sight of seeing you is all it takes to come unglued. Do my best to cause no shame being called Mrs. What's His Name. 'Cause it was true when they said that I'd be worth more when I'm dead. Sell my stuff on eBay, but baby, please keep my name. Please keep my name. 'Cause if I could change, I would, but you know that I ain't no good. A songwriter with a broken heart, just a man that falls apart. Simple sight of seeing you is all it takes to come unglued. Do my best to cause no shame being called Mrs. What's His Name. What's his name?
Bobbo Byrnes, front of house. That's a pretty little love song.
Thank you.
I like that.
It's hard to write love songs that aren't totally cheesy, and that's always my goal.
No, that's good.
Write uncheesy love songs.
It got right down to it though. The point, hey, sell all my shit, just keep my name. That's love right there. That's love.
It really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is front of house. Bobbo Byrnes is our guest. Shout out to Tracy Byrnes.
Yes.
Bobbo's wife, and also band member of the Fallen Stars. But lately, Bobbo, you've been striking out on your own.
I have. It's a way to save the marriage, actually, so I don't wear her out.
I hear you.
Yeah, I do a little too much touring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you guys are usually touring together.
Yes. And going solo is why I have the solo CDs. Just yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Tracy has been concentrating. We have another thing that we do with the Fallen Stars, music about the TV show Firefly.
Right.
So we now have 3 CDs of that, and so that's kind of in Tracy's outlet, and then I've been doing the solo stuff, and yeah.
So when you're able to hit the road away, absence makes the heart grow fond.
Very true.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Your songs, I think let's talk about your songwriting really quick. First of all, you're one of the most prolific songwriters that I personally know. I'm not sure how many damn songs you've written, but it seems like every year or so, another one of these is coming out.
I've written like 3 good songs. I keep trying to write a better one.
Bobbo just got back from improv class. No, I know that's like the joke of it.
Yeah.
But you're always writing.
I am
You're
always
writing
writing
some killer songs.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
When do you find the time to write? Is that just what you do? Does it just come to you, or do you have a specific, I'm going to sit down and write?
I've been doing so much performing and so much driving that I haven't been writing much lately.
Okay.
And, I've been having other outlets of writing because that's been coming to me. And so just whatever comes, that's what goes out. I keep a pretty extensive tour diary of whenever I'm traveling, and I've started 2 books.
Nice.
Yeah. So I just keep pumping out words.
Right.
So I started curating my short stories, and I have 160, 180 short stories that I'm trying to figure out how to put them into one book.
Wow.
And yeah, just.
What's easier, writing a short story or writing a song?
Short stories easier because all the time they're just taken from life.
Okay.
And it's making sure you get the quotes right and try not to incriminate anyone.
And you don't really need a melody?
Exactly. Yeah. You need to get to that point where it's like, oh, and when you're writing, you're like, oh, that's the point I'm trying to get to, and then finish it up. But it's always, what was that movie, Dave? Remember the movie Dave? There's the one where he's a president. Yes. And there's that moment in the ambulance at the end where he turns to Ving Rhames, and Ving Rhames says, I would have taken a bullet for you, Dave. It's like that moment that you're always shooting for. It's just
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Bobbo Byrnes, front of house. Prove me right. Let's hear another song.
All right.
And I'm telling you, folks, you're in the right spot for the awesomest music you've probably never heard. Dig in and turn it up. This is front of house.
There's a storm behind my eyes, but you never hear a sound. It's too late to move to higher ground. Now I can't tell you what you wanna hear. Your mind has wandered and mine ain't clear. I've been waiting for the day I could tell you how it's gonna be when it's coming. I may never know, I may never know, I may never know. I'm not gonna make this a thing for you. My metaphors are thin, you can see right through. Force myself to tell the joke to lighten the mood, but you're not laughing. I'm always the fool. I've been waiting, waiting, waiting for the day I could tell you how it's gonna be when it's coming. I may never know, I may never know, I may never know. Now I know the words to fix this, but they ain't coming across my lips. I've been waiting, waiting, waiting for the day I could tell you how it's gonna be when it's coming. I may never know, I may never know, I may never know, I may never know, I may never know.
I feel mostly vindicated for everything I've said now. That is a killer song, Bobbo. One thing that obviously everybody has now seen and heard, well, mostly heard. If you go to YouTube, you can probably catch videos of this. But one acoustic guitar and section off into a 3-part pedal board. What are we working with over here, Bobbo? First, introduce us to your guitar, please.
This right here is my J100. This is, I searched for this guitar for about 10 years. Gibson only made them in 1995, or 94, I'm sorry. They only made these in 1994, and it's a cutaway J100, which has the mahogany back and sides and neck, and they only made about 10 or 12 of them.
What?
And so I searched for a long time to find one of these. And when I did find it, I was having a yard sale of equipment trying to raise the $2,000 to buy this.
Okay.
And my mom called me up and said, your father and I just sold the house. We've never been able to get you anything like this before. Do you want us to buy that guitar for you? So this is...
Oh, shucks.
This is like what remains of my childhood home, and I carry it around with me everywhere.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that's... And for my dad, I put our last name on the headstock, Byrnes.
Nice.
So yeah. So that's this one here.
That is beautiful. Now you got dual pickups coming out of there.
I do.
Talk to us about it.
Okay. The clean
So there's
pickup.
two, for those of you who can't see it, there are two guitar instrument cables plugged into this single acoustic guitar that Bobbo has.
Yeah. The bridge pickup is just a Fishman piezo.
Okay.
It goes into the Red Eye DI over
Okay.
here. And that stays nice and clean.
Just the clean sound.
I can turn that off. And then the sound hole pickup goes...
And that's going through your effects board, your pedal
Yes.
board.
And I can do all kinds of weird things like this here and go. Yeah.
Little delay, little echo, little wah.
All those sorts of things just to add some other sound to whatever I'm doing.
But you're really able to make a very spacey, kind of like Pete Droge kind of deal.
Very cool.
You know?
Thank you. I have to give props to Ray Wiley Hubbard.
Okay.
You know Ray
that
Wiley?
name. I know that name.
Oh, yeah. So I saw him play on Letterman.
Okay.
And I saw the two chords coming off his guitar. And I wrote to his website, and I'm like, what's the deal?
What's
What's that
up?
pickup? And he wrote back to me, like, right away. And so we had a whole conversation about guitar pickups. And so he, like, mounts, like, a Silvertone gold foil pickup or something to the top of his guitar and runs 2 lines as well. And, yeah. So I got...
That is, it's genius. It's brilliant. And hats off to Ray.
Oh yeah. There's, as far as I can tell, there's 4 people that do what I'm doing. There's me. There's Ray Wiley Hubbard. There's the guy from The Alarm, Mike Peters, and the guy from Grantley Buffalo. Remember Grantley Buffalo?
Yeah.
He made a big sound with like
Grantley Phillips.
Grantley Phillips, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
We're the only 4 people that are doing this sort of thing, as far as I can tell.
It's fantastic.
Thank
It's
you.
really exciting. I actually never saw the setup before. I always wondered how you did this, and I didn't even bother to look the last time you and Tracy were here for front of house.
Oh, that was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah. But it's always fascinated me that you're able to complicate an acoustic guitar in such an unoffending way. It's very pleasing.
A compliment.
No, I said complicate.
Complicate. Okay.
I said complicate, but you complicated it in a non-offensive way. It's beautiful. I'm trying to give you a big compliment.
I really appreciate that. It was a long time coming of trying to figure out how to do it, because I originally did the 2 signals off the bridge pickup.
Okay.
But what happens is when you swell in the other one,
There's confusion.
a way huge phase cancellation that happens to the PA, and yeah, people are like, oh, what's that phase you have? I'm like, oh, that's just natural phasing.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. So taking it from 2 different sources that are this far apart, there's no phase cancellation.
Wow.
Got a little technical there.
Bobbo Byrnes has got a couple of solo records out right now. One is called 2 Sides to This Town. Another one is the Americana Motel. I recommend you pick up both of these.
Motel Americana.
Motel Americana. Well, it just says the Americana Motel.
does.
There it says Motel Americana on the side bar there. I did notice, Bobbo, there's no years that these albums came out, and I wanted to say what year, but then I thought, that's pretty smart. Don't tell people when your music came out. It's out.
One came out last year and the other one came out the year before.
Well, in 5 years, one came out last year and the other came out the year before.
I got
Doesn't
another one
matter.
coming out this year.
There you go. Bobbo, where can people find you online?
I'm really easy to find because as being Bobbo Byrnes, Bobbo Byrnes, I'm the only one in the world.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So just on the Google machine.
Glory to God. All right, let's hear some more music. Bobbo Byrnes is front of house.
This one's called Angelia. This is the one I wrote after the last election about trying to get inspiration to get up off your ass and do something. It's snowing tonight downtown, but it's warm in this bar. If we stay in here, we'll die in here, or we can take your car. There's 2 sides to this town. No one's right and no one's wrong. I got friends that are cops, friends in jail, don't know where I belong. Let's drive north to those high tension lines where the night sky's so fine. Angelia, I wanna dream with you tonight. Angelia, we'll make wishes on the satellites and pretend tonight's our first time around. Past the neon lights and the Texaco and the hardware store that burned down. And there's black ice ahead but it won't slow us down. Let's drive north to those high tension lines where the night sky's so fine. Angelia, I wanna dream with you tonight. Angelia, we'll make wishes on the satellites and pretend tonight's our first time around. And I'm staring at the old town sign, looking for a life I want to live. I want to live. Hey! Let's drive north to those high tension lines where the night sky's so fine. Angelia, I wanna dream with you tonight. Angelia, we'll make wishes on the satellites. Angelia, I wanna dream with you tonight. Angelia, we'll make wishes on the satellites and pretend tonight's our first time around. Our first time around. Our first time around. Our first time around.
The Two Sides to This Town, Bobbo Byrnes solo record. I recommend you pick it up. Dude.
Yeah?
Nice.
Thank you.
One of the things I respect about you and your work ethic is you work hard and you work smart. You know? Like a lot of people say, I don't work hard, I work smart. Fuck that, dude. Why not work hard and smart?
I'm really putting up a good front, if that's what you believe.
Well, for example, when you send out an email list to let people know what gigs are happening or what's going on in the world of Bobbo Byrnes, you always write these incredibly creative and footnoted 7-paragraph long emails, and you'll get like through the first sentence. Now, I swear to God, and Bobbo will say, "It's been a long winter, and we've been touring, and we just got back from Germany." Mark. And so you go down to the end of the email, and now you got to see the mark. What does that mark mean? Well, we didn't actually go to Germany. We were outside Germany, but just some weird, totally random, non sequitur shit. And an email from you. It's like there are times I get a Bobbo email. I'm like, oh, I don't have time for this. Skip.
Enough.
Come back to that when I got 20 minutes to dedicate to another Bobbo email. So it's all footnoted. It's anything but redacted. It's re-redacted.
Re-redacted.
And you also always include a free song for everyone on your email list.
Yeah.
I know
Sometimes
no one
I forget,
else,
but I try to.
I know no one else who puts as much work into artist emails as you do. Did you just come with and this? You're the only one I know who does it like this. So obviously this was your idea, but how did this develop?
Well, it started off, I just, everybody has an email list, and you're on other people's email lists, and I was reading them, and I'm like, this is kind of boring. And so how do I and I was reading my own, and I'm like, this is really boring. So I found my voice in writing those, and just tried to keep it entertaining and try not to bore myself.
They're always fun and exciting, dude.
Yeah.
And I certainly appreciate the free song every time because
Yeah. I try not to use the F-bomb because my mom will actually call me up and she's like, you don't need to swear. You don't need to say fuck.
my mother would do the same thing. Good job, Mrs. Byrnes.
My mom is the only person I know that I've never heard say the word.
Really?
Yeah.
My mom's gotten awfully loose with it lately.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
My mom was a hockey mom, too. She didn't even use it then.
Yeah.
I saw her almost beat up a hockey coach one time, and she still didn't even use it then.
Wow, would she use a stick?
No, she used... Actually, my dad had to hold her back.
Really? I want to hear this story.
I don't know how much of a story it is. Hockey coach shoved my mom. He just kind of pushed her.
Okay.
And my mom's Irish, got up, and my mom's about 5'1", maybe 5'2", and you would have thought she was about 6 foot because she just was like ready to tear this guy apart. And my dad was a very peace-loving guy and was actually 6 foot, and he was just like, "No, Linda," and just held her back. And but she was ready to tear apart our hockey coach. It would have been awesome.
All right, Bobbo Byrnes is our guest, front of house. Now, Bobbo, you did say it's very easy to Google Bobbo Byrnes, and you're going to find you. But what is the website? Because people need to know so they can buy your records there.
BobboByrnes.com.
There we go, my friend.
BOBBO-BYRNES.
All right, Bobbo Byrnes is front of house. Let's hear another, my brother.
All right. This is a song Tracy and I wrote after touring to Texas with a friend of mine. And the bass player that my friend hired was such an asshole that we left him in Dallas. So we flew Tracy out, and she learned 30 songs to finish the tour with us. It's called 1, 2, 3,000 Miles Back to You. Got a tank full of gas and a pile of old maps of the highway. Gotta try and find my way across this big old country. Band broke up on tour, left me stranded just north of Corona. Traded my Telecaster for this beat up old Ford. Now it's 1, 2, 3,000 miles back to you. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3,000 miles back to you. We were listening to Westerberg singing Hold My Life the day I asked you to be my wife. Time for this one to come alive. Now it's 1, 2, 3,000 miles back to you. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3,000 miles back to you. Couldn't take another day. Had to get the hell out of LA. Sun at my back in a sky so blue. Shadows pointing me home to you. Well, we drove all night, now the sun's rising over the Rockies. 3 more days and I'll be back in your arms, and I'm never gonna leave. Now it's 1, 2, 3,000 miles back to you. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3,000 miles back to you. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3,000 miles. 1, 2, 3,000 miles. 1, 2, 3,000 miles back to you. Back to you. Back to you, back to you, back to you, back to you, back to you.
Byrnes, my friends. Check him out online at bobbobyrnes.com. Also, you can go to the Fallen, Fallen, stars.com, and follow him on Twitter at the Fallen Stars. Next week, we will do part 2 with Bobbo Byrnes. And remember, if you go to patreon.com/front of house and give us $3 a month, you already have music from Bobbo in your inbox this morning and every Music Monday on Front of House. And now it's time for our bonus track of the day here on Front of House. Here's a song by a great band called the Animal Liberation Orchestra, or shortened, they're called ALO. This band has a brand new record out. It's called Tangle of Time. You can get it at alomusic.com. But let's flash back to the most populated half square mile west of the Mississippi. I'm talking about Isla Vista, California. It's where I first met these guys. ALO and the song Wasting Time from Fly Between Falls. Front of House.
I was sitting on the porch with a melon web, kicking back, pulling tubes courtesy of Jeb. When Smoothie rang up and he dropped a dime, we're at the Django house and the waves are fine. Dan came back with an old lap steel, and when he puts it in his hands, he's gotta be real. If you come around the corner, don't forget to turn. Bring a little fire, we got something to burn. I got around the corner, I was halfway there when I met Ted Moore and of course John Hare. They had just got a sack weighing 3.5. It was 419, just about that time. So we took a detour, 6703, the house to occupy Oceanside DP. Got upstairs and locked the door. Jerry and the Dead on the video. Well, they pulled out the binger and I started to drool. It was the 5-foot caustic weapon crystal tool. I caught the fumes and I lost my mind. Happens every time that I smoke the kind. But I never learned, but I don't mind. I'm just wasting time. Yeah. I never learned, but I don't mind. I'm just wasting time. Well, I went to the beach and I picked up a rock. I threw it in the ocean and the waves then caught it, dropped it back into the sea. So then I walked away and I let it be, as it had been lying there for a million days before I picked it up and thrown it away. I left the shore, went to the liquor store, saw Crazy Bruce, he was waiting for someone to buy him some fine malt liquor. When he gets it in the system, he's a real shit kicker. Play a song if you got the time, and even if you don't, he's liable to try. So I left him there, went into SOS, bought myself a bottle of the Black Cisco Death, drank it down while watching Dave's band. Somebody stuck a doob in my hand. Well, I took a hit and I passed it on. I woke up on the pavement not before too long. I never learned, but that's alright, cause sometimes it takes a couple of tries. But I never learned, but I don't mind. I'm just wasting time. I'm just wasting time. I never learned, but I don't mind. I'm just wasting time. I don't mind, cause time is on my side. I never
time, the Isla Vista song. For those of you who spent any time at the University of California at Santa Barbara and lived in the great metropolis of Isla Vista, recognize some of the hot spots they're singing about in that song. You can find it on the record. Fly Between Falls. And look out for ALO. Tour de Amor will continue in February of 2020 with ALO. My name is Mike Dawson. Thanks so much for tuning into the show. Remember, please tell a friend. Follow us on Twitter at FOHPod. Subscribe to Front of House if you don't already. And make sure you leave a positive review for us. And as always, until next week, when we'll do part 2 with Bobbo Byrnes, I want you to go pay a cover charge and see a live band. Support local live music wherever you are. And we'll see you back here at the North Hollywood Hideout next Monday for another in-stereo edition of Front of House.